Hiya! Welcome to the first records roundup of 2024. Although in reality, I'm actually recording this quite a bit before Christmas. I've had so much content coming out in December. I've managed to build up quite a nice backlog, really, of videos. This one is one that obviously I can't really put out. I could, but I'm not going to until after Christmas. So I hope you all had a good Christmas and New Year. We're into 2024 now, and the music purchases don't stop. I'm hoping this will be the year where I do ramp down my spending at least a little bit, but time will tell. I think I probably said that this time last year. Oh well, let's crack on and show you what I've got today. Plenty of stuff. Let's just dive right into it with a couple of CDs. Now, a few weeks back on the channel, I did another big unboxing of CDs, predominantly from the In Strict Confidence web store, but there's also a couple from, actually more than a couple, I think there are about 4 or 5, from Discogs Marketplace. There were still 2 I was waiting for from Discogs, from an American seller. I think they arrived the day after I shot that video, actually, so if I'd hung on another 24 hours, I could have included these in that, but I didn't, so I said I'd show them in a future records roundup. Today's the day. First one, the seller has kindly put it in this protective outer sleeve. These CD ones I don't tend to save. This one is In Strict Confidence's remix album, Exile Paradise, The Hex Destruction, or The Heck Destruction it might be, I'm not sure. Probably Heck, actually, looking at it. This is the second in a little series of remix albums done by, I think he's German or from somewhere in Central Europe, a remixer called Heck, who has remixed the whole of In Strict Confidence's albums Holy and Exile Paradise. Nothing really much else to say about that. I will quickly get it open and just give you a little look inside, but it's a CD in a tin. I do like these tins though. I like these slightly muted looking booklets that come in these Heck Destruction CDs. I say booklet, it's 4 pages worth. Oh, it's come with a sticker there. Very nice. And that's the CD. That just carries on keeping my In Strict Confidence album collection up to date. But I think as strictly albums go, this was the last one I needed. But I've got another In Strict Confidence CD to show you. It's this one, Collapse. This one is technically an EP, but as with pretty much all of In Strict Confidence's EPs, there's loads of tracks on them and you might as well call them albums, really. So quite an early one. I don't really rate the artwork massively, but they did improve greatly with their artwork in my opinion. I will have heard much of what's on here, but this was a good price from the same seller as Exile Paradise remixed. So I thought I'd pick this up, and this does contain the In Strict Confidence cover of Stripped by Depeche Mode, which is a brilliant cover. Rammstein have also done an excellent cover of that, and the original by Depeche is a blinder as well. It's one of those tracks that a lot of industrial acts seem to do very well covering. Just a bit of a look at the CD there. But that's all to say really about those. Wanted to get through the ISC stuff fairly quickly, as I've talked about them so much on the channel over the last few months. I'm hoping it will be some good publicity for them, but I'm sure there'll be some people out there who want me to shut up about ISC, but I will do for now. And that was a couple of Discogs pickups. We move on to a Blu-ray, and this one is a pretty new release, or it's actually 2 re-releases in one. and I was on the fence about whether to order this for a while, and then near to the time of it coming out I just thought, oh, go on then, I kind of want it, even though it's a little bit unnecessary for my collection. I'll explain why. It's from Mute Bank, that's Mute Records online store, and it is the Blu-ray reissue of Depeche Mode's Strange and Strange 2. What is this? Well, I'll read out what it says on the front. 11 videos restored from original sources, plus previously unseen outtake vignettes. Features the iconic videos for certain Depeche Mode singles around the time of Music for the Masses and Violator. A little bit unnecessary in regards to the music videos, because I do already have a Depeche Mode, I think it's a DVD rather than a Blu-ray, but a Depeche Mode videos compilation, which I don't know if I've ever shown on the channel. I might have done, but it'll be some years back if I did. But I just thought, as this was originally out on Laserdisc and VHS apparently, and it's classed as a colour mode by Anton Corbijn. Anton Corbijn, for those who don't know, well-renowned and respected photographer and director who worked extensively with Depeche Mode on their music videos, as well as other artists. He's also directed the excellent Joy Division biopic Control. Yeah, I just thought I'd get this really, just see if the extras on it are really worth writing home about. It's for the Depeche collection. I'm a Depeche Mode collector on CD for the audio, and I do get the DVDs and Blu-rays where possible, although they did reissue 101, their excellent documentary from the late 80s, on Blu-ray not too long ago. I didn't pick it up because I've got an older DVD version, but I'm kind of tempted to swap that out for the newer version because I think it'll have more extras on it, whereas this, I don't think there's the extras on it, which are classed as outtake vignettes, are going to be massively interesting, particularly for the price I paid. But oh well, still got it. Love Depeche Mode, and this was their peak period really, the late 80s into the 90s, and they were absolutely gigantic in America at this point. They were like the alternative Beatles almost. They were that big, they just could sell out stadiums across America. But there we go, Strange and the follow-up Strange 2 by Depeche Mode. Vinyl at long last, I hear you say. And here's another reissue, although it's an updated reissue. I've mentioned this a couple of times in previous videos that I've been waiting for it. I pre-ordered this from iMusic in Denmark, as it was a little bit cheaper, weirdly, than getting it from somewhere within the UK. 2-disc set on gold vinyl. It's the Best of the Cause. So this originally came out in 2001, but they've updated it with the 3 Fleetwood Mac, specifically Christine McVie written Fleetwood tracks, Little Lies Everywhere, which I've still not heard, weirdly enough, but nonetheless I'll be listening to it very soon because I've got it now. And the 3rd Fleetwood Mac cover is Songbird. So it's got all the Cause big hits from their inception in the mid-90s up till the early 2000s. I do already have the original version of this compilation on CD, but the Cause is an act that if they do release anything on vinyl, I'm happy to double up on. With this one having the newer tracks, the Fleetwood Mac covers, it was a no-brainer that I'd get it really. Also a double A-side single of Little Lies and Songbird came out not too long ago, and I did show that on the channel. Right, let's quickly get this one open so I can show you one of the gold discs. Looks like this is a gatefold sleeve. I'm going to be careful because there is a hype on here that I would like to preserve if possible. It's come in a plain black inner, but I think it's a poly-lined one by the look of it. Yes, it is. And oh, that's quite a... Actually, on camera it looks a little bit brighter, but sort of me standing here holding it in front of me, it's a very dull gold, that, but it does look better in the light. With no light on it this side, it kind of looks like really sort of dull and like a kind of dusty brown or yellow really, and it might look even better after editing. I often say that, and I think people probably wonder what do I mean. When I edit my videos, sometimes, like, you know, you get sort of changes in shade and tone and colour. Not anything that I've done deliberate, just from, I was going to say natural occurrences, but it's not that either. But just from me editing and using whatever software that I use, sometimes things look a little bit different when it's the finished product. But anyway, happy to have that. Best of the Cause on 2-disc, by the way, I don't know if I mentioned that. 2-disc gold vinyl. Alright, next we have something that I look forward to at this time of year every year, and it's the annual Saint Etienne Christmas release. Saint Etienne have been doing this for donkey's years. Originally it was a fan club exclusive thing where they'd release a CD back in the 90s and 2000s, maybe even into the 2010s for fan club members, but now it's kind of open to everyone as long as you know how to get alerted. I'll follow Saint Etienne on social media so I know when they're releasing something. Every Christmas they bring out usually 2 records now, and they maybe either a new compilation, I say new, a new release compilation but of old stuff, rarities more than likely, or they'll just reissue something from years ago that only came out on CD and they'll put it out on vinyl for the modern age. And they've done it again this year. They actually released 2 things but I only got one of them, because the other one was a 10-inch single, and I'm not a Saint Etienne singles collector, although saying that, I do have their box set, Saint Etienne on 45, which was a record store day release years ago. I got that for a good price, but it's a box set, I'd only count it as collecting singles, even though it is a box of singles. But before I show you the album, they've also sent me the traditional Christmas card as well. So if you purchase your Saint Etienne Christmas release from them, my problem with the last year's releases, which I think were Fairfax High and the character of Saint Etienne, was that they got lost in the post and I had to contact them to send replacements out, which to be fair they did, and I even got a replacement card. Oh, now this one is a So Tough Christmas card. Now I know why that is, because So Tough is being reissued in a deluxe box set form in a matter of months, I think, very soon into the new year. I've got this on mini disc. I won't be getting the box set, as nice as it looks, and there's going to be more rarities and stuff. I'm not doubling up on Saint Etienne albums, and it's my favourite Saint Etienne album as well. Really good one. I do recommend either when the reissue box set comes out, or if you can get a copy cheap of one of an earlier pressing, then pick up So Tough, because it's fantastic. So there we go. Merry Christmas and much love, and it's signed by Pete Wiggs, Sarah Cracknell and Bob Stanley. Very nice that. I never put these cards up. They're just part of the record set, part of the purchase really for me. So I always just keep them with the album. Speaking of the album, it's this one, Built on Sand, Rarities 1994 to 1999. This is one that came out on CD, originally for the fan club, I believe. It came out on black and some sort of spatter vinyl. I ordered, of course, the pretty looking one, as I always do, even though, quite unusually, Saint Etienne usually press less of the black ones. So theoretically, the black vinyl edition of this would be rarer. But I think they just know that most people want the colour variant. There's probably some sleeve notes. Yeah, they usually put sleeve notes on the inner sleeve. There's a look at the other side. Feels like there might be a download card in there, which feels a bit anachronistic now. There is. The record itself. Oh, that's very nice, that. So it's, I would say, predominantly white, but then it's got all this red spatter on it. I do like a spatter designed record, and this one doesn't disappoint, but it's Saint Etienne, they never disappoint me. Delighted to have that and to finally open it, because some of this stuff I've been hanging on to for a week or so, waiting to show you. I've still got other stuff in the post. There's still a couple of Black Friday purchases actually that have had to be delayed even further. I know they'll be coming, and I'm not desperate to have them, so I'm just waiting it out really. They're such good prices, there's no point me cancelling and getting a refund, so I'm not going to get the albums elsewhere for a better price, no way. So I'll stick this card inside here as well, and show you one more time. Built on Sand, rarities 94 to 99 from Saint Etienne.
Out of the city lights, where only I can hear promises. All he ever makes are promises. Do they come from deep inside his heart? I was captured by his lies and the passion in his eyes. Tomorrow never dies.
Now I can show you a picture disc. I suppose this one is technically a Black Friday purchase. It's from the official Polydor record store. It's another one of those Universal websites, you know, Universal Music, who run the Sound of Vinyl, Record Store, hiphop.com, and a few big acts, official web stores like the Beatles, for instance. Well, they've got a Polydor record store now, featuring presumably all the artists currently on the Polydor roster. So you get acts like the Rolling Stones, for instance, and also a band who I bought my first studio album of not too long ago, and I've got another one now, the most recent. It's The Who and Who. So they had 30% off with a code. That brought this down to, it was under £15, like £14 and a bit, and then another £3 or so in postage. So well under 20 for this. It's got a little card in it there, which I'm assuming will be some sort of download code again. This came out in 2019. Once again, it's like I've taken a punt on The Who, really, rather than knowing anything on here. Like with Face Dancers, I didn't particularly know hardly anything off that, but that turned out to be a really good album, especially the expanded edition, which had some good live stuff and demos on it. I do like a good picture disc, and I've seen this around before. I think I've even seen it reduced elsewhere before, and I've almost pulled the trigger. And then I thought, well, this might be the last time I see it with such a good reduction, with 30% off at Polydor, so I'll pick it up. No idea if I'm going to enjoy it or not, but I enjoyed Face Dancers, so I'm mildly optimistic at least that I'll enjoy Who, the most recent album by The Who. And I need a poo.
Down in Guantanamo, we still got the ball king. Down in Guantanamo, we still got the ball king. That pretty piece of Cuba, designed to cause me pain. Whoa, when you light up in Cuba, you won't feel the same again.
If anyone's wondering if I did actually go to the toilet, I did. It wasn't just my childish attempt at toilet humour, where I'd look like I was going away to do my business because I'd rhymed who with poo. Anyway, right, let's grow up again and carry on with the rest of the video and two mail openings. Well, this one here from Amazon, I've already taken the extra packaging. They do that quite a lot, Amazon. They'll put a record in a big long box, and it seems a bit wasteful really, where they can just stick a address label on one of their mailers. But anyway, not to worry. This one, which I think originated in Spain, Barcelona possibly, was under £15. Can't remember the exact price, but it's £14 something. And it's another greatest hits and remixes. This one from Leanne Ross. So a ZYX compilation, I showed one of these, I think a couple of records roundups back, that I'd purchased for a pretty good price. I was having a look, seeing what gaps to fill in my greatest hits and remixes collection. I've decided a little while ago that as these albums, they're pretty cheap and cheerful really. There's nothing particularly spectacular or premium about them, you know, the way they look or the way they're made, etc. I wouldn't pay more than £15 for one of these brand new, and this one was under 15. There was a couple of others that I might have taken a punt on, but they were a little bit over, and as I say, I'm not going to pay too much for these ZYX albums. But Leanne Ross, I think she's a German singer, her real name will be on screen, and she's done a lot of different projects and a lot of different work under different names. Looks like all the extended and maxi versions of her best known stuff, best known if you're a real Italo nut, and I am, although I'm still feeling like I'm part of a learning curve really, you know, getting to know these artists who just didn't really hit at all in the UK back in the 1980s. Black vinyl, as it always is, or almost always is. I think one of these a while ago was actually coloured vinyl, but the rest have been black. So that's all to show you there. Looking forward to getting stuck into Leanne Ross and her greatest hits and remixes.
You have turned my dreams into reality, beating up my heart to your sweet melody. It's the same old feeling, baby, it's so real. Deep inside my heart, I know it's real. Say you never, never, never go away. Say you never, 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 never go away.
Finally, 2 albums in this mailer here from Huddersfield's own Vinyl Tap. So I have broken a rule here, a rule that I publicly set myself some weeks ago, probably getting on for a couple of months now actually, regarding a collection of a group. I think there's probably 1 or 2 of you who will know what I'm referring to already. Slide those out. I wonder if Vinyl Tap have sent me any printouts or anything. Oh, they might have done, or is that just a packing slip? Oh no, they have. I do like Vinyl Tap. Big recommendation from me. One of my favourite sites really, as they take a lot of care with listing and grading second-hand vinyl CDs and anything else really that they're selling, rather than just new stuff. Both of what I've got here is brand new and sealed, by the way. These are a bit unnecessary, but I just think it's a nice sort of extra mile sort of thing for Vinyl Tap to do, to send a list of the artists that you've purchased from them, and then you can go down a checklist and see if there's anything else you need. Right then, so the artist in question, the band, is Madness, of course, and I did say I was trying to get new and sealed, preferably new and sealed copies, reissues of their original studio albums for £15 and under. Well, both of these were over £15, not by much. One was £16.99 and one was £17.99, and it got to the stage really where, unless I hung on and waited an indefinite amount of time, I was thinking, well, for the sake of a few quid, I really should raise my price limit for Madness. I mean, the newer stuff, the stuff from the 2010s to the present day, I mean, because most of that I think's on 2 LP vinyl anyway. You know, I'm not going to get any of that for anywhere close to 15. And it was the early 80s into the 90s and early 2000s studio albums that I was wanting to concentrate on particularly anyway. First one I'll show you is Mad Not Mad. This one, I can't remember if this was the £17 or the £18 one, but I think £18 for the moment, and like I say, there's not many left now. In fact, there's only really one of the 1980s albums that I need, and I've already ordered it from elsewhere, spoiler. But Mad Not Mad on 180 gram heavyweight vinyl. This was their last proper album for quite some years, certainly with, although it was almost the original lineup because keyboardist Mike Barson had departed at this point, although he did rejoin briefly to record a single in 1986. What's on here that I know? Oh, it's difficult to read that text. Yesterday's Men and Uncle Sam were certainly singles that I know. A couple of good singles as well from what I remember. All I can really say about that, just keeps the Madness collection going, as does this final one. And I was pleased to find this, as I didn't think I'd get it so cheap. There again, it was either £17 or £18, but for this being under 20, I was quite pleased to get it really. I thought, no, I'm not going to let this sit around and try and hopefully find it for 15 when that's not a guarantee. I'll raise my maximum limit up. And it is the Danger Men Sessions Volume 1. So this was a covers album. This will be the most recent Madness studio album in my collection now. And there again, it's part of this reissue series. It's got covers of what will be predominantly reggae and ska. A couple of songs on here I do know. Israelites, for instance, that was originally by Desmond Dekker, I believe. Really Madness paying homage to their roots and their influences, really. It makes sense, you know. They're a band who aren't averse to a cover version. For instance, It Must Be Love, The Harder They Fall, and I know they've done other covers as well. So for them to release a covers album of mostly reggae and ska/Jamaican music makes a lot of sense, really. So I don't really know anything on this album. I'm looking forward to diving into it. And that is Madness, the Danger Men Sessions, alongside Mad Not Mad.
Telling me lies. You're telling me lies. Well, girl, I met you at that party, and girl, you make me feel so happy. Talk with every man, it's just a one night stand, and such a sweet girl like you. You're telling me lies. You're telling me lies. Your lies.
So thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed this edition of Records Roundup. As I said earlier, still waiting some stuff. I can think of one or two pre-orders that might be coming in by the end of the month or early February, something like that. So there'll be, I don't know about plenty more, but there'll be some more to show you sooner or later. And as I'm recording this quite a way in advance, for all I know, I might end up having gone on a bit of an impulsive splurge if I see anywhere that's selling anything, you know, Christmas sales, January, New Year sales, that sort of thing. But I want to say special thanks, as always, to my wonderful subscribers and generous patrons. Please see all my usual links, including a Patreon link and one for a Facebook group of mine, down in the description text box. I'm going to go now. Don't know what to start with, really. Possibly listen to those In Strict Confidence CDs. Still got an absolute box full of those. I've just had so much else to listen to. You don't really need to know my listening habits, but I can't wait. I'm just going to have a whole probably week or more of In Strict Confidence and nothing else, just to get down all those. But plenty of other stuff here. The Depeche Mode Blu-ray as well to play at some point. And I do hope that all of you will join me again next time for my next Records Roundup and music collecting video. Cheers everyone. See ya!